We have the Manta files, and this is about exposing the entire international exploitation and sale of manta ray with Dynasty Marine, the IUCN, CITES, and FWC's involvement. Now, all of it's here. It's also on the YouTube in a link, a secured Google Drive link. And what is becoming a statewide story and a grave concern to the welfare of all past and current animals is likely an understatement to activities permitted by governmental bodies, especially Florida's FWC, which is charged with the enhancement and conservation of wildlife in Florida. And what began as a tragic scene through a video off the Florida Panhandle, which I first saw on Jim Abernathy's account, grew to finding out this involves lobbying to reduce manta ray protections by Dynasty Marine, so a loophole left open by the FWC's Marine Special Activity License, SAL, could be exposed for the foreign exchange and sale of the globally recognized endangered species, the manta ray. All other 49 states recognize its full ESA status. It is imperative the public knows the gravity of the situation and legislative and organizational action is taken to fix errors so conservation can be a priority in Florida. Manta rays are listed endangered globally under the IUCN, which is the gold standard for listing and understanding threatened and endangered species. Once an animal is listed in the U.S. and under NOAA, they are granted protection under our ESA, Endangered Species Act. Dynasty Marine, the contracted company who captured the manta for the Abu Dhabi Aquarium, is founded by Forrest Young. The current president is Ben Doherty. Forrest and Ben submitted formal letters to international regulators that would create and ensure loopholes for the export of live manta rays for public display, even as global protections are increasing under the IUCN. Now, the push to lobby for the manta to be kept as CITES 2 instead of CITES 1, and again, CITES is the Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species of Fauna and Flora, instead of CITES 1, which ensures that NOAA cannot extend ESA protection to threatened species through separate regulation called the 4D rule, is what allowed this loophole. Attached letters and a comment to the proposed ESA ruling from 2017 and 2025, where Ben Doherty defends the international manta trade and advocates to keep the door open for live manta exports. And again, all this extensive files, many dozens of pages, are in my YouTube under secure Google Drive link in the bio. Now, keep in mind when FWC issues a SAL, a special activity license, for a manta export, it is for a live manta export. They're typically kept and stabilized at Dynasty facilities in the Florida Keys for about 2 months, 8 weeks, as listed in the U.S. Fish and Wildlife document, which is also in the files. This is to make sure it essentially stabilizes. You could say near domestication or help it essentially, acclimate to captivity, because a live animal is surely going to just bash in the glass, try to jump over the, jump out, all this stuff. It's a big animal. It's a live animal. It's known for its speed and for having great ranges. Now, if the manta dies during capture, transport, quarantine in the Keys, or transport to the aquarium, the SAL remains active and Dynasty can go out and capture another manta as long as the period hasn't ended. Now, Ben Doherty has consistently advocated for manta rays to be listed as CITES 2, where that loophole again exists. If they are listed as Appendix 1, they become federally protected and will prohibit FWC from issuing SAL permits for their capture. Again, all this is attached. Further, some notes to continue this and what we really need to be thinking about as we go forward. And there's really tons more. The first 3 minutes or so of this video is going to be posted to Instagram. The full video where I can go more into depth will be all on YouTube. Now, last note, it has been received per FOIA's the full list of the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission SAL database. We have all of that now. Reviewing, and we'll share more. And again, this has been the work of many people involved. There's Jim, there's Rachel, there's a few others, many good people involved in this. Now, legislators will hopefully continue to meet and bring this issue to the forefront. There are several things in the background, and hopefully this gains, the recognition and the esteem that it needs to help save these animals and end this loophole. Now, legal release of the currently held animal is paramount. That would be very good. And based on calling Dynasty Marine, this was myself, but an associate, who hung up after bringing up the situation, and per contact of a former employee and knowing its past routine, the animal is almost certainly in the Keys until and around September 10th. And which is, again, this enough time for inhibition, domestication, calm enough for, international transport. Now, some questions that must be raised, that should be raised, that are really important and similarly raised in the legislative letter. I think Representative, I want to say Lindsey Gross, she recently, and many others also joined and had this letter. But similar questions also to raise. Will FWC commit to formal and legal revisions to ensure no threatened or endangered animals can be exported or taken from Florida state lands or waters outside of non-commercial and temporary research and study purposes? Can the FWC revoke SAL permits, and how? What is the revenue or money taken from this permitting process, and where is it spent? How many SALs are denied, and on what basis? What route in Florida can the FWC, legislators, and organizations take to lobby or petition greater protections for endangered and threatened species in Florida or Florida waters? So that's probably the whole bit that's on posting to Instagram. I'm probably going to pause the video real quick so I can take care of that. But again, all this in the Manta files, what we've collected, what a lot of other people have been doing great work.